Hey, my name is Dr. Augustine. Today I'm going to do sort of a question and answer for you. These are common questions that come up in my office, and so I thought that you might benefit from the answers as well. So, question number one, should you crack your neck or back? The right answer is no. First off, you really should be adjusted by a chiropractor that takes x-rays. How do you know how to adjust the spine? That's what the x-rays are for. You want to move always the right bones the right way. Therefore, you get a really great response. What if, though, you still have your neck is jammed up or your back? So some safe things that you can do would be hanging from a pull-up bar. So just that vertical axial traction of your spine vertically will lift and move your thoracic or your mid-back and sometimes your lower back as well, and it'll give you some relief. It'll make you feel so much better. The neck is interesting. The neck, you should not, and what I find most people will do is go side to side with their neck. The reason for that is you have vertebral arteries that go along the sides of your neck. Have you ever noticed the movement in your neck that's the least is side to side? You've got great forward flexion, great extension, great rotation both sides, but not too much side to side. And that's because you shouldn't force it and make it go further because you don't want to tear a vertebral artery and cause a stroke. There was a gentleman in Orange County, here in California, Orange County, who was doing that with his neck, and 3 days later he stroked out and died. So I sort of like to emphasize that with people. An adjustment is called an adjustment for a reason. We're moving the right bones the right way. So what should you do for your neck safely would be flexion and extension of your neck. Flexion and extension's always a good thing. Never can cause a problem with that. Question number two. What's the cracking noise that occurs when you get adjusted? Some people are totally freaked out by this. And the noise is actually pressure or gas inside your joints. When you change the position of the joint, there's a change in pressure and you get that popping noise. That's okay. It's not bones cracking or breaking. You're not fracturing a bone. But again, move the right bones the right way and it's not even going to be a problem at all. When you get out of bed in the morning, sometimes you can get out of bed and your back will pop or make a noise. If you squat down, your knees can pop and crack. All good, not a problem. The noise is pressure changes inside your joints. How about question number three? Are diet drinks good for you or better for you, or are they bad for you? Absolutely bad for you. Don't do diet soda. Sure, there's no carbohydrates in them, but that sweetener, that acetylsulfame or the NutraSweet, those sorts of things are not healthy for you. NutraSweet can cause seizures, and had a patient, check this out, a patient who was chewing gum that was sugarless gum, and we discovered this, that he was chewing way too much of it, and it was actually NutraSweet. When he stopped the gum, he actually had just a quick shingles outbreak, and it was into his eye up here, and to this day he has burning and itching, and he's constantly rubbing his eye like this because of too much NutraSweet. So don't do it. The only acceptable sugar substitute is really stevia. Better not to do soda. It can make your body very inflamed, very inflammatory. Next question. What diet is good for high cholesterol? First and foremost, starch and sugar and alcohol are the hardest thing on your liver. Since your liver makes your cholesterol, you can beat up your liver with eating too much starch, sugar, and drinking alcohol. Guess what happens? Your cholesterol goes up. So if you can imagine a diet without those items would be good, would start to lower your cholesterol. Also, probably a good diet would be Mediterranean diet because it's higher in polyphenols, which are some other really great nutrients for your body and your health, antioxidants and things, but also high in olive oil. So I'd even recommend you having a tablespoon of olive oil twice a day. Best olive oil you could find, really expensive, and it should be in a glass bottle. It should be organic, cold pressed, extra virgin, tablespoon twice a day. Really super good because it's going to raise your HDL cholesterol, which is cardioprotective. It's going to protect your heart. Question number 5. How much protein should you eat to maintain or to gain lean muscle? So first, anybody that's out there that's over 40, you should definitely start eating more eating more protein. Why? Because you're going to be losing it as your hormones start to dip a bit as you age. It's a bad word, aging. So lots of good proteins, and you want to have protein with every meal because protein also stabilizes your blood sugar. But you should be ideally shooting for 1 gram of protein per per pound of body weight. 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. Now you might be saying, wow, that's way too much protein. There's no way I could get that much protein in. Which is why you're going to discover that if you do a body composition testing, you're going to discover that your body fat's way too high and your lean muscle mass is way too low. And you'll find that life is much more difficult. Your normal daily activities will get progressively more difficult to do. Why? Because you're losing lean muscle mass. If you're going to be lifting and you want to gain lean muscle, you should be doing 1.5 grams of protein per pound of body weight. It's quite a bit, but even so. And each time you eat protein, your body can only process about 30 grams at a time. So you may have to eat not just 3 meals a day, but you might have to be doing 3 meals and 2 to 3 snacks to get the adequate level of protein if you're lifting weights and if you're trying to build lean muscle back in your body. Question number 6. What do you recommend for headaches? A lot of causes for headaches, first and foremost. One cause can be upper cervical misalignment. Vertebrae, really super common reason for headaches is the very top bone, C1 and C2, can get misaligned. Based on what you're doing in a day, maybe you might your sleep posture might be disturbed. Maybe you're sleeping on your stomach, your head's turned to one side or the other. That can misalign those vertebrae and put pressure on your brainstem, giving you headaches. Another thing, you could have blood sugar issues. Today, 1 out of every 3 people is going to be pre-diabetic. So blood sugar goes up and then it crashes too low. You can have headaches from that. Another cause can be ladies' hormone imbalance. So you want to look at balancing or getting hormone balance under control so you don't have the headache problems. Another reason can be too much inflammatory foods that your body might be sensitive to. So first and foremost, I would say take out the grains out of your diet. The dairy and grains. Some people are sensitive to dairy. Most everybody's going to be problematic with grains because grains are very pro-inflammatory. So those are some great ways to start to take your headaches down. Have those evaluated and look at those areas. Question number 7. What should you do if you have a fever? First off, understanding what a fever actually is, that it's actually a healthy response that your body is giving you to jumpstart and improve your immune system, an immune response to an infection. So it's a healthy response, but it does not feel good, as you know. So first and foremost, what's happening is your body is heating up to pull calcium out of your bones and into your blood, because in the center of every white blood cell is a spindle of calcium. And your body's trying to mobilize some calcium to put into those white blood cells so those white blood cells can get busy to go attack the infection and solve the problem. This is why a fever will last for a period of time and all of a sudden the fever goes away and you start to feel better. What you can do though is take a calcium product, a specialized type of calcium called calcium lactate. Calcium lactate is an ionizable form of calcium that will go right into your blood and it will be put right into the center spindle of, it should be in your white blood cells, to then mobilize and jumpstart your immune system. So you can take calcium lactate to jumpstart your immune system and literally shut off the fever. Great thing to do. Now, calcium lactate is not in milk. That's calcium carbonate. Not a good source of calcium. Not in this case. You need ionizable calcium called calcium carbonate, and it comes from Standard Process whole food nutrition, calcium lactate. Great for shutting down fever. Next question, how to get more energy? So then first we need to look at what causes low energy, and who doesn't have stress? I do. Stress starts to deplete your adrenal glands, and your adrenal glands are your stress glands. The first thing that happens when your adrenal glands start to get fatigued is a lack of energy. So you have to check yourself and see if you truly have stress and how much stress you have, and start to work at that level. Start to, talk to the hand. Don't let stress affect you. Avoid those things. Change up what's going on in your life if you can. Many times you can't. Some people have to get up at the crack of dawn to go to work, and they're driving the freeway. Gee, talking about massive stress. Other reasons can be maybe you are not getting enough sleep. You might go to bed 11:30, 12:30, 1:30. Lack of sleep is going to knock your circadian rhythm, and you will never gain that back and that balance back until you fix the sleep issue. Circadian rhythm, you should be asleep between 9:30 and 10:30 at night. Then all of a sudden you will see the world completely differently if you can gain back that right amount of sleep. Another thing, though, is supporting those adrenal glands, those stress glands. You might need to take a supplement for that, and DM me and let me know. I'd love to help you out with those things. So getting more energy. Also, you could have blood sugar problems too that can cause the lack of energy. So your blood sugar goes up and I feel pretty good, but then it dips down. That's when you start having energy problems. Maybe you skip meals because of too much stress and you're working too intensely, and all of a sudden as your blood sugar starts to drop, you're going to be tired, fatigued. So what is it for you? There are multiple causes. You need to find out what's causing it and solve problems at that level. If you have any questions about any of these topics, or you have your own questions, please let me know. I would leave a comment, DM me, or I'm also on email. My email is draugustine@gmail.com. I'm on social media, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, as well as TikTok. I'd love to hear from you. My name is Dr. Augustine. Have a great day.